Hello everyone, I'm Julie from Camelia Crafts. I'm a junk journaler and crafter, and today I'm going to be making a junk journal from scratch, starting with putting my pages together. And I've come up with this list of 58 pages you can include in your junk journals. You can put anything you want in a junk journal. There's no rules as far as I'm concerned. If anyone tells me I can't do something, I'll find a way to do it. So there we have it. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive list. In fact, I've thought of 4 other things since I made this list and printed it out. I'm glad I didn't laminate it, because now I can just add them onto the bottom. So, I've also got together an example of all these 58 things. I've made a start and I've put 3 junk journal signatures together using lots of these types of paper. These will become junk journals over coming months. This is going to be the year of mass making junk journals for me. I need to get my ephemera into junk journals, get my junk journals finished, and I need a place to put every piece of ephemera I make. So this is what I'm starting with. So like I say, I've got 3 signatures. They are all different. They are going to be 3 separate journals. This one has got what we call a Franken page on the front. It's just a page made up of scraps glued together. We've got tea-dyed papers, notebook papers, ledger papers. That's a book page that I've sewn into a flap and a pocket. The possibilities are endless, aren't they? So I'm going to put those to one side and we'll go through this list. I mean, even if you've been junk journaling for years, you might see something on this list that you'd not thought of. So I'll pop it there. You can always pause the video and take a screenshot of the list, or I do have it over on my Buy Me a Coffee site. You can download it for free. So what have we got first? Book pages. Now my favourites are botanical book pages, as you can see. They're just gorgeous, aren't they? You don't need to do anything to that. But if you did want to pop a photograph or a little note with some journaling on, you could. And these are all from various botanical books. Now, I use botanical books and I quite often have people say, oh, they're expensive from US. Well, they are, because I'm using British books. I'm sure you can find some equally gorgeous books in US. Look at that, that's lots of little scraps. I quite liked that when I'd done it. So that will go in a journal. This is a page from quite a large book on butterflies. It's semi-shiny. I'm getting over my hate of shiny pages. It's not high gloss. I can live with it. That's a page. I think I bought that in a pack of mixed pages that I got on Etsy. So that's an idea. If you don't have all the variety that I've built up over years and you want a little bit more variety, buy a mixed pack off Etsy. My shop's not currently open. But when it is, I do have mixed packs. That is a page from, that was from a diary. Yeah, I think I put that into a separate category later. Yeah, I think you get the idea. Children's books, dictionaries. That was a book about typewriting. I quite like those because there's a lot of interest, lots of different fonts. I love how there's all that. That is, I was going to frame that rather than put it in a junk journal, but if I was to fold it that way, it would look pretty cute. So yeah, book pages, it's endless. Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood, she's cute. Right, next thing, oh, that's another book page. Did I get lots out, or did I get lots out? These are very interesting. I like the colour of that. I could chop that up and make tickets. It's the colour of a nice vintage ticket, isn't it? So that's what might happen. Some that I've already got folded. You can fold them in various ways. Yeah, as you can see, so they will then fit into a journal. Don't know what that is. Oh, that would be nice folded that way, I think. Yeah, foreign book pages. Some slightly more complicated pockets. I do have a video on how I made this. And I'll link everything that I mentioned down below. Yeah, there we go. That's just a book page. You can glue that. You don't have to sew it. I think in my tutorial I've showed it with either. That's another nice end page from a book. More pockets. There we go. So I think that's the biggest category, book pages. Right, next we've got magazine pages. Now, I don't buy magazines. I sometimes pick them up in charity shop, but I don't go charity shopping a lot these days because I've got a lot of stuff. But I did buy this one recently. It is The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady magazine. I bought it online from Craft Stash. Again, I'll put a link if you're interested in it. But the idea is use what you've got. This is what I've got. You're going to have something different. And yeah, apart from craft magazines do tend to have papers inside, I love craft magazines because you always get yummy pictures. Oh, that's a lot of paper, isn't it? Of what other people have made. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, that would make a little tag, a tuck spot, a pocket. You could make a whole page from it by just folding it in half. Yeah, so that's a good base page. Now, next we've got tea coffee dyed papers. You can do your own. There are lots of tutorials on YouTube how to do it. I buy mine these days because it kills my back. Also, this is like a faux vintage tea dyed type paper that you can buy. I get mine on Amazon. Again, links are all in description. This one, it's a tea dyed page, and I've stamped a large journal page stamp that I've got. I mean, you could make a full journal like that. Yeah, you can tea dye anything. That's some notebook pages tea dyed. That's a tea dyed paper and I've stamped it. So the list of what you can do is just endless. Now, next, music paper. That speaks for itself. Yeah, I pick them up on eBay quite often. I've had some in Happy Mail. I did buy this manuscript book. That's your blank music paper. Again, it's just something different, a different look. I don't know if you're the same, but when I first started junk journaling and I didn't have lots of different base pages other than my craft papers, I bought all sorts, yeah? And I've now got more than I can use. Here we've got offcuts. You can make a small page in a junk journal. Pages don't have to be full size. I think it adds a lot of interest to a junk journal if you've got pages of all different sizes. Cut with trimmers, scissors, ripped, torn. That's a different journal paper. Again, this, I remember picking this one up in my local post office. Just a tiny little cash book it was. This is a vintage ledger that I got my hands on and I covered. Yes, I use it sparingly. I've only ever bought one. This old. I've got some other just plain ledger books. This was a farm ledger from 1950s. Again, I have scanned a couple of pages and put them on my Buy Me a Coffee. And that's what this is. This is a printed one. And that's really handy if you don't have the originals. There's lots of free printables available on Tinternet. This was a giant book. This wasn't actually too expensive. I think I paid about £10 for this. It's an attendance book from a school and it's lovely. I love it. I need to try and scan that. It's rather large. I may have to take it to a shop because it's bigger than my scanner. I'm trying to take a photo. I don't know. Right, we've got just check papers. So we're moving on to graph paper. Different types of graph paper. Again, another different type. A lot of these I've pinched off kids when they've had them for school. Right, cardstock. I've got a piece of cardstock there. I don't know if it's sending camera funny like my eyes. It's ribbed, but that's brilliant. I do have some larger sheets somewhere squirreled away. They're good for base pages, or they're good for even a cover. I like nice lightweight cardstock to use as pages within my journal. This is 160 GSM. I always forget what that is in pounds. I did have a list that someone kindly sent me and it was on my wall, but now it's behind my desk. So, Right, scrapbook papers. Yeah, they're my favourite Tim Holtz ones. I've got various random ones that have come in packs free with magazines or that I've bought over years. And I've just put a collection of all the ones I'm going to use. So these are all going to be made up into signatures. Is that graphic 45? Again, some more. I like these. You tend to get a lot of these free in magazines. They are perfect because when you fold them in half, you've got two different pages. I like that. What's this? What's this? Is this the next? Yes, this is my next category. Cartridge paper. Now, cartridge paper, it's just cheap. It's just cheap recycled paper, as far as I know. If anyone knows different, let me know. You can pick it up in craft shops, you can pick it up in Poundland. So I'm sure in US you can get it in Hobby Lobby. It's the type of thing they make cheap notebooks from sometimes. Right, the next thing, construction paper. Now, I used to volunteer in a school and we always called it sugar paper. I've no idea why. If anyone knows, let me know. But it's very easy to work with. The ones we have here in the UK, it tends to be recycled. You can see speckles in. So that's that. Next, receipts and invoices. Yeah, I've got my Poundland receipt there from June. What did I buy in June? Age confirmed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Coca-Cola. Yeah, just bought all sorts of rubbish. Is this a real receipt? No, this is a fake receipt that I bought in a pack from AliExpress. So, yeah, if you don't have any real receipts, get some fake ones. Guest checks, I've included those as receipts and invoices. That is an invoice page that came in a pack of paper, and I quite like that. I think that needs photocopying or scanning before I use it. Right, next, vellum. I've got some lovely vellum here that has writing on. This was from my friend Shirl at Crafty Shamrock Designs. Yeah, I've got this. I'm calling it vellum because it's see-through. Yeah, if I put it on top of my printout, you can see through. I don't actually know what it is. For any of you in UK, remember a shop called Paper Mill Shop, where you could just go and fill a box about this size with any card or paper, and I think it used to be like £2. Oh, I'm going back a few years, aren't I? I think you can get it online now, and I'm sure it's about £12 for the same amount. Shocker. So yeah, then we move on to things like tracing paper, baking paper, parchment paper, wax paper, glassine paper, butcher paper. I don't even know which is which in some of these. I know I have a selection. That was, well, we call it greaseproof paper in UK. Yeah, grease doesn't go through it. I've got a sheet of Tyvek. Tyvek in US, you have envelopes made out of them, don't you? We don't in the UK, but you can buy it in A4 sheets. I did grab some other examples that I'd not put in the box. Yeah. Oh, did I put tissue paper later on? Yeah, so, yeah, that's about it that I've got there. Oh, this is the one. Here we have it. Yeah, these are sheets of butcher paper. In UK, if you go to a sandwich shop, they'll wrap your sandwich in this, then pop it in a bag, or at a butcher's they'll wrap your meat or whatever in and then pop it in a bag. Right, then we've got this. That's a piece of brown baking or parchment. I think in different parts of the world we call same things different things, and we call different things same thing. So yeah, semi-transparent, maybe grease, maybe waxy, maybe not paper. I should have put that all in one category, but hey ho, it's done now. Right, next I've got envelopes. Any envelopes you've got. These came to me in a Happy Mail, and they are Edith Holden. I love them, and I've been hoarding them, but this is the year of getting it used. Stop hoarding it, woman. You just got too much stuff. Get it used. I've got some tiny little craft envelopes. I've got some bigger ones. Now you can fold those in half, make a page, seal it down, slit the top and make pockets, slit the sides, make pockets at side. Again, possibilities endless. Little ones, if you're doing a smaller journal, you can include that as a page and you've got a pocket there. Cut that edge off and have a pocket there. Or put a little slit in top for a pocket. That's envelopes. I've just got a variety out to include. That's just a plain cream one. It's really thick. It's a good weight, that one. I like it. So I would probably sew that in to my signature like so. Let's use that as a page. Yeah, so that could be a page. I could attach something to it. That would then be my next page. Oh, that's another envelope. Yeah, so you get the idea. That could be one side, that could be other. I wouldn't do that with a really thin envelope, it might tear. And they don't have to be new. I've got all these. In fact, what was this? Free Post Children's Air Ambulance. They were probably trying to make me buy some raffle tickets. Yeah, 'cause I donate to them, and you get these raffle tickets through, and yeah, I didn't buy any. Right, that's another one. No idea what came in these. One good thing to report is, in the UK, we seem to be having, yeah, we're getting more variety in the size and position of our windows and envelopes. For so many years, they were all very much the same. So yeah, that's an envelope. I do have lots of envelopes as an ex-card maker, because I used to make cards. And I'd buy envelopes, and the cards would be made from a sheet of A4, rather than buying them in particular sizes. Ooh, now we're on to bags. I've got a glassine bag there. Oh, are we back to envelopes? Yep. Call that a bag or an envelope. London Transport Mixed Decimal Bronze. That's old. I don't know how old. Don't know where it came from. The envelope, it's just endless. The sizes. That's a plain one that I've done some stenciling on. That's an envelope I've made from one of those butterfly book pages. They're really good. Let me grab a signature. Come here, book signature. I like to put envelopes in the centre of signatures. In fact, I've done it in this one. Way upside down, yeah. That's half an envelope, and that will be 2 pockets. Or you can put an envelope in. If you don't seal it up when you've made it, you can sew it in there, seal that, and you've got an envelope in your centre page. I think I've showed that before on a video. Right, that's another envelope. That could be a base page, could even be a cover. Right, what we've got after envelopes? I don't know where bags went, they must be later on. Flyers and leaflets, brochures, catalogues. Now, every time you get a medicine in the UK, I don't know if it's the same in US, you get one of these. See, I get one of these every month with that same one inhaler, and it's huge, but it's quite thick, and I can use that in my junk journals. We get this magazine. I've saved this one from 2022 because I love the cover. It's just a free local magazine that we get with adverts in and things. You could even use that as a junk journal in itself and collage onto the pages. Or you can take it apart as base pages. English Heritage, they always send us pages of what's going on, and it has lots of interesting things. I mean, you could punch out certain things, you could take it out and use it as a base page. Helens Homewares, that's the lady I get my napkins from off eBay. She always puts this lovely leaflet in when you buy some, and yeah, I can just fold that and use that as a base page. It's pretty. Right, that's my whole old, yeah, my old dead sewing machine. It succumbed to a cup of cappuccino when I spilt it in it. I had it a fair few years, but yeah, sugar and milk in its electronics and mechanical workings, yeah, it's kaput. So bye bye sewing machine. Right, let's move on. I'll move that. We'll pile all these up together. Move on to the next box. Can you still see the list? You can. Right. Notebooks, notepads. I have quite a few of these. I have quite a few new ones that I've got from my daughter. With her being dyslexic, she has coloured pages. Trying to get the school to buy coloured pages was an absolute nightmare, so I used to buy them myself. And every year they insisted on giving her the white ones. So I have quite a stash of white ones for my junk journaling. I thought that were a fair trade. Yeah, this was a notebook. That's an image from Edith Holden. If you're not familiar with Edith Holden, it's a book called Edith Holden, The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. She was a watercolour artist and journaler and writer. And yeah, she produced this gorgeous book. Now that's a tiny piece of paper. I've got these. These came from my friend over in Sheffield, same lady. Oh my word, she's going to kill me when I can't remember her name. Yeah, she sent me a full pad of these and they're brilliant. I've no idea where she got them from. Zoe, there you go Zoe. Oh Lord. Yeah, this is notebook paper that I've stained. Lots of pieces. Yeah, oh, these This is some very wide ruled notebook paper when I bought the wrong ones for my daughter. Should have gone through one of them a week. Right, next thing, newspapers. Yeah, these are bits of vintage newspaper. You sometimes find them stuffed in second-hand books. Yeah, I think that's perfect, pop in junk journals. I mean, if it's lasted from 1915, that one, I think it's going to be okay in a junk journal for a bit longer. They don't make paper like they used to, do they? So, where are we up to now? So we've got brochures, catalogues, instruction books, a few things that I don't have examples of. Paint chips and sample cards. I think you call them paint chips over the pond. We just call them sample cards, where you get a little sample of the colour of the paint. They're brilliant. I don't have any at the moment. I need to go shopping and grab a few. Any junk mail that you've got, that junk mail, it could be anything. Whatever someone posts through your letterbox that you did not ask for. Computer printout paper, you know the stuff. It comes in continuous lengths that fold up, the concertina like so, and they've got holes in because they fit on little notches on a machine to continuously print out. Now, I don't know if you can even buy it new anymore, but if you're looking in charity shops, thrift shops, even online on eBay, you might pick some up. It's, yeah, that's the thing. Now, this is newsprint paper. Yeah, this is not obviously got any printing on. You can buy this in packs. It's not very expensive. It's rather thin. It doesn't go through my printer very well, but other people have no problem with it. My printer will print up to like 350 GSM card, so I think my printer's strength is thick paper rather than fine paper. Right, oh, we've got some to packaging now. Yeah, any packaging. I don't know what that was. It was probably something in a box. Is that glassine paper? I don't know, but it's packaging. This, what was this? Luxurious quality and design. So I bought something posh. It was the hotel collection, and it had luxurious quality. I think it was a throw for bed or something. Craft packaging. Look at that. How beautiful is that? That is the packaging from a set of stamps I bought many years ago, but it's in my stash. Tim Holtz. I love the Tim Holtz packaging because you've got a notebook there. Pop a few bits of paper in that, punch a hole in the paper, tie it up, you've got a ready-made notebook. You don't even have to decorate it if you don't want to. It's done. Right, I'm just going to get my daughter out of bed because I can hear her alarm going off. 2 ticks. That's one teenager out of bed. She didn't go into college anymore on Wednesdays. It's lovely to have her at home. Yeah, it is. Anyway, that was very fortuitous. That's a big word for me, because I spotted these behind me. Right, packaging. This is the packaging from some new dishes I bought. You can use that as a base page. It depends how chunky you want your journal. Yeah, if you've got a die cut machine, run this through, roll it with your rolling pin, put it under some heavy books, it will flatten out, and it will also flatten down a little bit. Yeah, then it won't add as much bulk to your journal, but that's always good. And I've got a few of those. This seems to be something that gets used a lot now in UK rather than bubble wrap, and it's this, I don't know what you'd call it. It's paper. It's like, it looks as though it's shredded, but it's not, and it's got a lovely texture. But also, my cat loves it, by the way. She absolutely loves it. Little Nala. Look what happens when I pull it. Woo! How good is that? It's not going to be as flat once you've pulled it apart, but yeah, I quite like it. So that's a good option. I put these behind me because they're so bulky. Right, Amazon. Amazon love to put reams and reams of this stuff in giant boxes. In fact, this doesn't even fit on screen, but how perfect is this for junk journals? It's perforated every so often. What I've done with this, as you can see, is I've folded it. So this could be a giant concertina journal. It could. I think it's a little bit too big. What I would do is cut it down. Or you can just take a couple of pieces off. In fact, let's do it. Take a couple of pieces off. Yeah, I can put the rest away. Yeah, it just fell on the floor. Crafterlanche, that's the first Crafterlanche of 2024. Then you could fold that up. Then when you fold it back, make nicer creases. Yeah, you could glue the edge. You've got ready-made pockets. You can cut it down if you don't want it that wide. You could even fold it again. Look how good that is. You've already got a pocket there then. And over there, you could have a tuck spot there and a little pocket there. So this is brilliant stuff. So don't throw it all away, save yourself some, but don't save it all, because they just use far too much of it. Sometimes it comes and it's slightly different. In fact, as this one, no, this one doesn't have perforations, but it's slightly thinner. It's got more of a nice crinkle. Iron it if you want, or leave it as is. But yeah, that's a good source of paper for your journals. Now, moving on to maps and atlases. We're still in shot with that, yeah. So this is, I've been using this same A to Z. In the UK, each city or town has what we call an A to Z. People use sat-navs these days. I'm old school, I do like a map. Yeah, sat-navs don't always... My house is 14 years old and it is still not on everyone's sat-nav. My daughter went for a sleepover just after Christmas, and a friend's mum brought her home, or dad, I can't remember which, brought her home, and sat-nav took him on a mystery tour because we're not on it. So there you go. Well, yeah, so this is the A to Z, and this is for Rotherham and Sheffield. I've used all the pages for all the places I've lived and know really well. Now this is from a book. I don't know if it was a book on maps, but that's an option if you don't have any maps. There are lots of books on maps and about maps and containing maps. That was a little insert from a book. Again, this one looks like it's from a book. Now, let's move on. What we got next? Timetables. Now, again, the modern age, a lot of things that used to be produced in print format is now online and digital, but you can pick old ones up. This is actually, it folds out into a big poster if you want it to, and it's Blackburn Transport, your local bus servicing you. Wow, look how old they are. Another old one here, but this one has a date on from 1987. Richmond, Ripon and Hambleton area. And just how yummy are they? Yeah, ooh, they're going to be yummy as pages in a journal. Next, we've got wallpaper. Well, we've got, yeah, wallpaper, coffee filters and filter paper. Again, I don't have any of those, but yeah, if you've got a coffee machine, or if you don't have a coffee machine, you can buy them. Sometimes, if you buy the unbleached ones, they're not pure white. They're like a beigey colour. So that's that one. Wallpaper, yeah, I've only grabbed one little piece. I have rolls of the stuff. This was a piece I just pinched as a sample. That's so gorgeous. Yeah, that would make a lovely page in a junk journal. You could even attach it to something else and make a cover. Right, doilies. The doilies you can get are endless. You can get these little coloured craft doilies. These are by a brand called Do Crafts in the UK. These are some thinner, cheaper ones I picked up on AliExpress. Depends what you're doing with them. These are a nice thickness, little heart-shaped ones. It says love. You can put those in the centre of a signature so you get half on either side. Depends on the size of the journal you're making. And that makes a lovely half-page doily. I love looking through a junk journal and you've got something peeping behind a doily and you can see a little hint of what's underneath it. You turn the page back and you've got a brown paper bag. No, you get the idea. So that's doilies. What we're after doilies? Paper bags. Now these are some I've made myself. I've just printed on some straw paper. That was just a checked background. This is definitely a free printable that you can get from Artie Mays. I will link her website or her Ko-fi site where I'm not sure where this is. It's a few years old. I'm positive she will still have it on her website, so I'll link that. And again, I've printed it and made my own paper bag. Again, you can put those in the centre of a signature. It'll make 2 tall tucks, or fold it like so. Cut that end off. Right, this is a paper bag that I tea dyed. I don't actually like that really wrinkly look, but there you go. Now, you don't have to use paper. This is a plastic bag for party favours. Yeah, you can fold that over, cut the end off, and you've got a pocket. That's one with handles. Yeah, a smaller one. That's a chemist one from my prescription. These are the ones that the girls have to take the school lunch in. They're not glassine, but they are grease-proof, as we call it in the UK. These are little sweetie bags. Some I've received in Happy Mails. That's a glassine bag. Yeah, loads. That's got like a faux newspaper print on it. These ones with adverts printed on. Ooh, what else we got here? Oh, another plastic one. Yeah. Don't be afraid to put plastic in your junk journals. Keeps it out at landfill and sea, doesn't it? Oh, endless amounts of bags. Right, what we got after bags? Wrapping paper. I had some wrapping paper, but now it's all gone. I put it in my recycling bin. It was Christmas. I knew it would be pretty battered by this time next year. So at the moment, I have no wrapping paper. I will have to buy wrapping paper if I need to send a present. I tend to just wrap it in tissue paper and then brown paper and tie it with a bit of string. So I don't have any unused wrapping paper at the moment. Right, next thing, gift bags. Yeah, that was, yeah, in with your bags. Gift tags, so yeah. And not just gift tags, these are clothing tags. Yeah, they're lovely. Another, I don't know what that's a tag off. Yeah, but I've kept it because I'll be using it. That's a Tim Holtz tag or a Graphic 45, I'm not sure. That one's a bit thick, but you could still fold it like so, and it could be a little interesting page in your journal. Ooh, next thing after tags, tissue paper. I've got some here with butterflies. That was actually some that I saved. Someone had wrapped something in that for me. Or my local shop sells packs of tissue paper for less than £1. That's what this is. Yeah, I mean, you can scrinkle it up and glue it to another page. You can use it as is. Yeah, endless ideas with tissue paper. I do have some more there. That's a nice vintage one. That is gorgeous. Again, I'm hoarding it. Get it used, woman. Right, crepe paper. I don't have any crepe paper to hand. Crepe paper, I don't know if you have it anywhere other than UK. If you remember this packaging I showed you, where it looks, the packaging, it's got a texture and it's quite crinkly, but then when you pull it out, yeah, it expands. That's what crepe paper does. It comes and it looks a bit like corrugated card, but you pull it out and it expands. It's very good for dyeing other papers with because it's got a lot of pigment in it. Put a bit of crepe paper in your water that you're going to dye paper with and it will turn your paper the colour of the crepe paper. Yeah, that's, yeah, without having any to show you, that's the best explanation I can give. Right, what's after crepe paper? Greeting cards. I've got a few here. This is just one I made absolutely years ago, but that'd be brilliant to pop in a junk journal. Yeah, you'd have 2 pages there. Look at this, I love this one. Oh, these are some I made years ago as thank you cards for teachers. They just look like pencils. That will get put in a junk journal at some point. What else we got? What's after greeting? Postcards, yeah? This, an actual, is it an actual postcard? I don't know if that's actual or if it's a fake postcard, but I like it. You can fold it in half. Depends how thick your postcard is. We've got, oh, that's actually a greeting card. Yeah, I think that's Scarborough. I had a set, Rinkton's Tea, that was Scarborough in 1937. The card's not from 1937. The card's still pretty old. But yes, Scarborough, 1937. Oh, that's another card. Look at that. I mean, not only would that be a lovely page in a junk journal, that could be the cover. I may do a cover in this style. This is one I've made and then not done anything with. I've just stamped a tree trunk, just coloured it in a little bit, and then just put lots of bits and bobs on as though they're the tree branches. I love that. Here's another card. This one. This was me trying to get rid of some of my rather bright and colourful handmade papers. I gave it to school and I got a piece back on a card. So Mummy, hope this cheers you up. I don't know, yeah, maybe I were having a sad day. Hope this cheers you up. That's very cute. I don't know which child it's from because she's not signed it. But that, I think that needs to go in a personal journal for me. Right, what we got? I don't know how long I've been rabbiting for. This is probably hours long. So we've got the greeting cards, postcards, old photos. That's not actually an old photo, it's a postcard. But yeah, you could have old photos that you've got printed out large, ones you've took out of frames. You can use them as the actual page in a personal junk journal. That's Bolsover Castle, so yeah. So old photos, embroidery patterns, sewing patterns. I don't have an embroidery pattern to hand because I would have had to reach a long way to get them down off the top of my wardrobe. But yeah, sewing patterns. These are what they look like in the UK. You get the instructions on, it's like the type of, it's like newsprint paper. I don't know if it is. Yeah, slightly thicker, but they're just so interesting, aren't they? I mean, I'm never going to make that dress. So I can cut this up and use it in junk journals. And then you've got the actual tissue paper that the pattern itself is made from. This one looks like it's never been used. Sometimes, it depends, again, where you get it from. You can use them as actual pages, leave it doubled up. And it can be used as a base page. Otherwise, you can collage with it, do all sorts with it. Just glue it to another page. A piece of copier paper will do, just to give it a little bit more sturdiness. So that's that. Right, what are we on to now? Braille paper. Right. I've tea-dyed a bit of Braille paper there. Because the Braille paper I've got is very, very bright white. I don't know where I've put it. It's gone AWOL. So yeah, Braille paper. Oh, I found it. Right, here we go. That Braille paper, it's got a lovely texture. This one, because I tea-dyed it and then ironed it, it's got rid of some of the texture, but it is still there. You can see it and you can feel it. Yeah, but I think that looks gorgeous. Did I tea-dye that or ink it? I'm not sure. I did it a while back. But Braille paper, it's brilliant. Don't go ripping up a decent Braille book that someone can use. These were actually... It was an order of service from a church. So that were not going to be used again, was it? So yeah, Braille paper. What we got next? Fabric. Yeah, if you've got lightweight fabric, I mean, look at this. I often say when I'm inking that I dip fabric into the ink to clean it up rather than a baby wipe or a tissue. Something I'm going to throw away. I use some of this lightweight fabric. A piece of that folded over as a base page is brilliant. If you're wanting to use it as a book for keepsakes and mementos, you may have something you don't want to fasten in permanently with glue. You could just pin it in. Yeah, pin any little beaded bits and bobs. If you've got a sentimental earring or something, I've got so many odd earrings. I could do a journal page with odd earrings and just clip them all to this. Yeah, my kids wanted to know why I got a jewellery box full of odd earrings. Like, because I lose things. Right, this is some more lightweight fabric. This is some that I grabbed from Temu. Yeah, I've not done a haul from I buy the odd thing, but I'm terrible for not reading description. I thought these were fat quarters. No, that's not a fat quarter. That's a skinny page. I mean, it's still big enough to make a small journal, isn't it? And it was only a couple of pound. So it's just my fault that I didn't read the description. It's also quite thin, but that means it would make a lovely page within a journal. Yeah, so happy accident. We like those. So what we got next? Old puzzle books. Oh, I love using old puzzle books. I use them as glue books because I've got that many, but they do make an interesting base page in a junk journal. So yeah, I've just got one example there. What else have we got? Phone directories. Now people, I once said use a phone directory to help you bind a journal. People had not seen one of them in years. Well, actually, we do still have them in the UK, and we did still have like the yellow pages until recent years, the last couple of years. And we get a phone directory. It's not very thick, and I don't know where mine is. I've saved it in the house somewhere. I thought that'd be brilliant for a junk journal, and I can't find it. But it's only about yay thick. But yeah, use phone directories. You may have them if you're a hoarder like me. If I'd not moved so many times, I probably would still have had every yellow pages and phone directory that had ever come through my door. Yeah, so you may have them. You don't have to buy everything new. That's the idea of junk journaling. Use what you have. Everyone has different stuff. Right, what we've got next? Pianola rolls. Right, let me grab one. 2 ticks. Here we are. A pianola roll. Piano roll. Yeah, oh, just listen at that. Doesn't that sound amazing? Yeah, I mean, you can even buy these new. Yeah, you can buy lots of second-hand ones on eBay. You can pick them up in charity shops. And they've got a lovely texture, and they're just so visually interesting. I know a lot of people prefer ones with writing on. This happens to be one that doesn't have a lot of writing on. I mean, I'm no musician. I don't know what these... they probably mean something. I don't know. Yeah, because I know you can... They play automatically, some don't they, or some they will play, and you can also play along with it. Yeah, I don't know much about them, but they just look so gorgeous. I mean, you can just use a piece of that, fold it over as a base page in your journal. This is quite a old one. It's quite crispy. I didn't notice if there was a date on the front of it. Let's have a look. Look at me making a mess. Why did it just continue unravelling that? Silly woman. What does it say? This is a little dash of Dublin. Foxtrot. Yeah, no, I've got no date on. Sometimes they do have dates on. There you go. It rolls itself back up. I'll put that back together properly when I've done. Right. Yeah, I was planning this video last week before I got sick. And yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it was all fresh in my mind. So I'm going through this box and discovering things I'd forgot to put in it already in a week. What a memory, yeah. So that's it, pianola rolls. Now you don't have to put every one of these papers in a junk journal. It would be a pretty chunky one if you did. And you don't have to have all these. I don't have all these. That's the idea of junk journaling. Use what you've got. Right, next thing, watercolour paper, art paper. I've always got lots of this in because my daughter's a keen artist. So I pinch bits off her now. So that's watercolour paper. Any art paper, whatever weight it is, whatever colour it is. Use what you've got left over. Right, what have we got here? Oh, old posters and art prints. I've missed out blotting paper. I don't have any blotting paper at the minute. I did have some a while back. I picked that up in a charity shop and I used it. So you might have some hanging about. You might be a fan of writing with a fountain pen. You may need blotting paper. If you're not sure what blotting paper is, when you wrote with ink, you know, the pens that dip in ink or fill in ink, you would put the blotting paper on, yeah, to dry your ink quicker. So that's what that is. Now, next thing, old posters and art prints. Yeah, I've got frames in my house and sometimes I get fed up of what's in them, so I take it out and put something else in. Yeah. I think that is what that came from. I can't think what else it is. It feels like it could have been. But I've got pictures now that I want to change out. Yeah, take them out, fold them up, put them in your junk journals. What's this? Don't even know what that is. Oh, that one, another card. Oh, this is another card. Let me take it out of this plastic. This is one I made because I can't be bothered to go into my toolbox and find some of this. But I have used this in cards, and I think it might be interesting to use in a junk journal. Sandpaper. This was a little sea-themed card I did. So that's the beach. Yeah, what's better to use for beach than very fine sandpaper? It's very thin. You can fold it over, use it as a base page. Yeah, it's an idea, isn't it? I think I was searching for ideas at the end. And the last thing, handmade paper, which encompasses all sorts. The list is endless. You've got mulberry paper. What qualifies it as mulberry paper is it's made from, is it bark from the mulberry tree. People call mulberry paper lots of things. Now, I always knew this thin stuff as mulberry paper. Some people call this mulberry tissue paper. But I love this because, it's quite see-through. And you get to see what's on the next page under it. You can get thicker mulberry papers. You can get rice papers. That's just some kind of handmade paper with leaf inclusions. This came in a Happy Mail. I don't know what it is, but it's gorgeous. I really like it. It seems to have got, I don't know what it is. Some bits obviously look like leaves or bark. Then this is the thick mulberry paper. We've got leaves and petals. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I did say that after I made my list, I came up with 4 more ideas. So let's grab those. So, wage slips and wage packets. I've got the ideas, I don't know where I've put the stuff, and I've found those, yes. So, wage packets. These are UK type wage packets. These are usually if you're getting paid by cash or cheque. All your details are on the front, the tax taken, national insurance, savings, if you're into savings scheme, all the bits and bobs. Then they put the money in and hand it to you. That's quite an outdated old thing now, but you can still buy these. And you can pick them up in charity shops. So that's that. Wage slips and wage packets. Time cards. Yeah, some people still do, and some factories do still have them in UK, not many, where it is a machine where you have to physically put that card in and it punches the time that you got to work, then you do it again on your way out, punches the time. Some of them just used to punch a hole. These are more sophisticated, they print the time. Ooh, yeah, they probably don't even use those now in most places. Diaries and calendars. Now, these are just some sheets from my daily planner. They're brilliant. Again, fold them in half, stick them in a journal. Yeah, this is another diary page. This is a gorgeous diary. It's a botanical diary. Look at that. I've been saving this to use in a huge junk journal because I don't want to fold that lovely picture in half. So I will make a giant one at some point. Again, this is another weekly planner page. I used to buy a lot of these weekly planners and have them on my desk. I just still do it now, then the planner gets buried and I can't find it. So we've got that. File folders. I don't need to show you a file folder. If they're thin enough, stick a file folder in. Now, I've already come up with a couple more ideas when I've just gone to grab my time cards. Yeah, look at that. I think we'll keep that in the envelope idea. Again, these are from my friend Shirl. These are budgeting envelopes. We've got guest checks. Look at these. Weekly time report for weekend. Oh, that's another type of a time card. I love it. What's this? That's, oh, seed packets. Let's put that on. Seed packets. So I don't know how many numbers we're up to. I may have updated this or I may not have. I'll try and get it updated for when this video goes out live. Bingo cards. Yeah, they're a bit thick to be folding, but I do have some slightly different ones. Here we go. Bingo tickets. They're perfect for folding and using as a base page. So we're going to put bingo tickets. Try and make your writing legible, woman. Bingo tickets. Library cards. Library cards. There you go. Like I said, it's not an exhaustive list, it's endless. I could probably search around my house and craft room even more and find more things. I'm just going through these. I think these all come under the headings of tags. There we go, a library card. That's a thinner one. We can fold that in half. That's brilliant. Recipes. Ooh, recipe cards. Yeah, let's put that on. Recipe cards. I have to say it recipe. Don't know how to spell it. There you go, recipe cards. So yeah, I think I've just proved there the list is endless. Now I'm going to keep a couple of these out because I'm just going to quickly put together a junk journal. Oh, a pink guest check. Oh, I like that. I don't have any pink ones personally. And I'm going to use a bingo card. Like I said, we can't put everything, we can't put one of everything in a junk journal. It would be huge. But maybe if you're making a huge one with lots of signatures, you could. Maybe that could be a challenge, couldn't it? I could make a junk journal with one of each of these items. I might have to beg, borrow or steal a couple of the ones I don't have though. That'd be quite an interesting little challenge, that. Make a junk journal with every page you can possibly think of. Right, so just to show you how quick and easy it is to put a junk journal together. So I've decided I'm going to use these bingo tickets. I've got something I use to fold my pages. It's this. It's an old scoreboard for making cards. The reason I like to use this is I've got that lip there. It's not even about perfection. It's about speed and ease. It just helps me fold things easier. If you've got anything with a lip at the edge of a scoreboard, or you may have something on your own trimmer. Right, I'm not going to fold out middle. I want to have that word Cocoa Brownies on one page. Even then it'll just help you fold it more square. So that's 3 pages already. I'm going to put things back in this plastic box that I'm not using. I think I'll have one of these planner pages. There we go. I'm not going to use a time card or a wage card. I think I want to use a piece of this fabric. So grab some scissors. And I'm just going to cut and rip. There we go. So that's going to be a page. So already we've got 5 things to make a page, smaller things. I'm not going to use mulberry paper or that handmade. But I'm just going to grab from this pile rather than make them whiz past your eyes. I'm going to use that puzzle page. What else can I use? Let's put this pile of things we're not using back. More fabric. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. I might put that in, I might not. That's the thing, isn't it? If you don't know what to put in a junk journal, quite often it's not because you don't know, it's because you're too busy umming and ahhing. That's where it is with me. I'm going to put that in. I like it. I may put that bag may be a bit long for this journal. Yeah, I'm going to use a smaller bag. Oh, I'm going to use this one. I like that. I'm just going to fold it. It doesn't have to be in half. You fold it however you want. Let's put the rest of those bags back. What else have we got? I'm not going to use wallpaper in this one. Oh, I'm going to use one of these A to Z map pages. So I'll put those on my pile. Fold you, mate. Yeah. And people ask me often, how many pages do you put in a junk journal? I honestly don't know quite often how many pages I put in a junk journal. I just keep adding pages until it looks full enough. And it all depends on what the journal is going to be used for. If I'm making one for someone who says they want lots of room to journal, I'll put more thinner tea-dyed papers in. or papers of that type. So then it will end up with more pages. There we go, that's the page. I may separate that again. I may sew it up and make pockets, I don't know. So that's that. That was the Amazon packaging paper. What else have we got? Let's move another big chunk over. Ooh, I'm going to put that in. Yeah, as is, rather than make a notebook with it. I don't want that. I'm not putting newspaper in this one. Oh, I've got some of these. That's a nice tea-dyed notebook paper. I can use that. I'll use that little one. What else have we got here? I don't want any of that. Oh, I'm going to put this in from Helens Homewares. The napkin lady, I'll call her. She does ship to the US as well. You just need to message her on Facebook, yeah? She does have a Facebook page and an eBay shop. I will put both on. Helens Homewares. If you look for her on Facebook, she should come up, and she will ship to the US. So we're keeping Helen's card in. I'm not using that or that. It seems like I'm not putting much in, doesn't it? But I assure you I am. I want to put an envelope in. I want to put... I may put that one in that I've stenciled. I want to put that one in. And I want to put one of these in. I will fold that sideways. I'm not going to fold that dead in half because I'm going to have two pockets then. One will have a window and one won't. So it does not have to be rocket science making a junk journal. And even if you don't have as many things as me, there are more things I've got that I'm not including in this journal than I am including in this journal. I'm going to put a piece of that in. I'm going to put a piece of this in. I showed you this. I don't know if it's some kind of laid vellumy paper. I'm going to put a piece of that in. And we've already got a pink guest check, so I'm not going to put that in. I may put my Poundland receipt in. I'll put a piece of this construction paper in. I think I'll have a green one. I only have green and pink. I'm going to put this in. That's a piece of the cartridge paper. I'm going to grab a couple of these scrapbook papers. It's taking me longer to sort through them than put them in. I like that. I'm going to use that. I absolutely love that. But not today, Josephine. I'm going to put that in. I like that. So, bob those over to that side, keeping it in a neatish pile. I'll put a sheet of this rather thin cardstock in. That's perfect for putting more heavyweight embellishments on. We'll have a piece, I'll have a piece of the smaller checks. I will put this piece of original vintage ledger paper in. So we're getting that, we're nearly at the bottom of this pile, and I'm going to put some music paper in. I'm going to put that small one in. I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of the faux tea-dyed paper and a couple of pieces of the actual tea-dyed paper. Oh, I'm going to have that piece of tea-dyed ledger paper in. Where did my actual tea-dyed paper go? I think it's at the bottom. Oh, here it is. So we'll take two pieces of that. Again, the lady on eBay will buy that from. I will link. I'm so sorry, a name just will not come to mind at the moment. And let's grab a few book pages. I like that. I like that with built-in pockets. I'm not going to put one of these sewn ones in, but I think I'll put that one in with the pockets that's not sewn, just to show you don't have to sew it. And what else have we got? Ooh, I love these smaller botanical books because their pictures can be the correct way up. I love those recipe books. Oh, and a dictionary. or thesaurus page. Right. Ooh, let's use that Franken page as well. So make sure they're not going to fall on us. They're all to one side. And let's put this bad boy together. Ooh, again, I may have got too many here now. So I'm going to fold some of my larger pages. That's my tea dyed paper. I'm only going to use one side of this recipe book. So I'm just going to tear it. I do like that torn look. Oops, that went off a little bit. So let's use that. Pop that inside. I don't tend to trim any pages at this point. How big is that? That's quite big. I'm going to put that there and that there. Let's have... There we go. What a shorter page. That's my tea dyed note paper. I'm then going to pop one of my Franken, I don't know which way up that goes, that's it. Put my Franken page in. Then perhaps an envelope. No, I want something more pretty in the middle. That looks good in the middle of that. Then I could have the envelope. Then I could perhaps put another, I like that, another botanical page. I mean, once you've put this together, you can always rejig your pages. I like to have my cover page covering all my pages. That might change when I sew it into a cover, but it protects it for now. Right, let's have a piece of this faux tea dyed paper. I didn't fold that. And I'm not using the edge of my board. Look, I'm breaking my own rules, see? What did I say about if someone tells me I must do something, I just don't want to do it. Or I can't do something. Don't tell me I can't do that, or I'll do it anyway. Ooh, nice piece of vintage ledger. So I reckon if you start hunting around your house, around your craft room, you will find more things to go in a junk journal than you think you own. So that's that. Now, already, that is looking like a pretty good... Oh, I've put 2 pages of that in. We don't need 2. Pretty good junk journal with quite a little bit of variety. I want some more plainer pages that can be journaled on. Is that 1 or 2 pieces? Oh, it's already folded. I like that. I don't know where I want to put it, though. I'm going to pop it there. There you go. See, I love that look, how you can see lots of different pages layered up. It's just something that pleases me. Helen, you can go nearer the middle, missus. Ooh, what about there? I think I like that. Helen hiding under the flap of the envelope. Oh, look at the little dog poking out. That is cute. Right, a little page. I like to have small pages hiding under other small pages. I don't know why, it's just something I like in a junk journal. Like so. You don't know that page is there. Right, what else did we got? Loads out that we're not going to fit in. Let's have another plain paper. So you can then have that for journaling on. You can pretty it up, stamping, stenciling. You can sew bits to the side. You can cover the whole page with a pocket. They're the kinds of decisions you make when you start decorating it. How big is that? That's quite a large page. So I might have that pretty near to the front. Yeah. And then we want some littler pages or littler items. Let's have a map page here. And then under it, let's have some more paper that can be journaled on. Looks like scrapbook paper's not even going to make it into this journal. It's a little bit too chunky already. But I think you get the idea, don't you? So that is getting pretty thick. Let me count what I've got in it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, we're going to count them, 16. So that is 16 different pieces of paper folded over. So I'm going to stop there with that one. And oh, the fabric, we've got to have that fabric in. Ooh, I don't know where to put it. This is the last one I'm going to put in. Oh, I don't know what to do with that fabric. I think I may have it there. Yeah. So like I said, if your fabric is thin, lightweight, it will easily make a leaf or a page in a junk journal. And again, look how gorgeous that is. Look at that. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different pages when we open that journal. I love it. So that's that. I'm not going to bore you anymore putting any more together, but this is what I'm going to be doing over the next few days. I'm just going to be folding pages, putting them together, and then I will sort them into signatures that can be into 3, 5 signature journals. I always like to do odds amount of signatures. I don't know why, I just do. And ones that were going to be single. So I will always have a junk journal to put every piece of ephemera in that I make this year. And hopefully I'll get some more put on sale this year, because I've been having a lot of requests recently and I've not been that productive last year. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. I have waffled on for quite a long time, but hopefully you've got some use out of it. So thank you for watching. I will link everything I've mentioned in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye.